Colson Whitehead once said, "If you want to see what this nation is all about, you have to ride the rails. Look outside as you speed through, and you'll find the true face of America." This is Going Analog, a series where I remind myself, and hopefully you, to slow down and really appreciate books. He said this in his novel, The Underground Railroad, and if you want to understand history, how it felt, and how it reverberates into today, read these novels. Starting with The Nickel Boys. An insightful and quick read, the main character, Elwood, is a kid who does everything right, but one mistake lands him in a reform school called the Nickel Academy, based on the real-life Dozier School in Florida. A reform school of violence, abuse that doesn't operate on justice at all. The novel is about how easily injustice can hide inside institutions and how rampant corruption went on in this school for over a century. The Dozier School was just a continuation of the injustices that have been prevalent in this country since its inception. Injustices further explored in The Underground Railroad, which follows Cora, an enslaved woman, as she tries to escape a Georgia plantation. However, the Underground Railroad in this one isn't metaphorical, it's real. There are actual trains with actual tracks, and the stations are beneath the ground. You ride along with Cora as she flees the South, and you feel the terror she feels as she ultimately realizes that physically leaving the South will not necessarily make her free. Each stop on the railroad feels like a different version of America, each one revealing a new form of control. Through Cora's journey, you start to see how systems evolve, how oppression doesn't always disappear, it can just change form. Colson Whitehead removes the distance we usually have from history. He forces you to confront it as something tangible and conveys how easily these systems adapt and persist to this day. Which brings us to a more recent time period in Cool Machine, which comes out July 21st of this year. I was lucky enough to receive an advanced copy of this one. It's the conclusion of the Harlem trilogy, so I don't want to give too much away, and has some interesting threads. I'm not sure if it's because I haven't read the first two books in the trilogy, but ultimately, this one wasn't for me. Thematically and technically speaking, I think it was pretty well done. I think it was just a lack of a connection on my end, so keep an eye out for this one, and maybe start with The Harlem Shuffle, the first book in the trilogy, ahead of time. Colson Whitehead has a knack for pulling you into his characters' worlds where you are forced to contend with the reality of that world. He isn't writing about something that was just in the past, he's showing how the past shapes the present and how what may be decades or centuries behind us still needs to be addressed today. I highly recommend checking out his work if you haven't yet, and if you're trying to read more intentionally, Colson Whitehead is a great place to start. And if you're on a similar reading journey, follow along. This is Going Analog.